Brought to you by Refi. Refinance your defaulted private student loans today at yrefi.com/Ramsey.
So my question is more of a principles question rather than financial. So I'll give you some context after, but my question is, should I accept my girlfriend's extremely generous offer of paying off my debt for me?
No.
Okay. I thought you might say that. I'm very hesitant. She made the offer about a week ago, and I've been sitting on it. So
you don't pay off dating relationships debt. You do that when you're married. When you get married.
Well, that's the thing. So we're both divorced, and we since the first time since my divorce, I have actually considered getting married again. I thought I never would get married again.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, we're in a long distance relationship. I'm in Canada, she's in Switzerland. And part of the reason to pay off the debts is so that I can afford to save up for trips to see each other back and forth.
Why can't you save up? What's your job like?
Well, because I'm trying to pay off these debts, right? But I'm currently on track to try and clear these before next summer. So before the beginning of next summer, that's my goal.
How much is it?
And, it's about $35,000.
What do you make, sir?
Okay. What do I make? Approximately $85,000 gross.
And so what's it take to fly to Switzerland? How much money does it take to buy an airline ticket from where you are to Switzerland?
$1,600 approximately.
Okay. So tell her to buy an airline ticket and come to Canada and visit.
Yeah, she's done that a couple times.
Okay.
And already. So we
you want to increase the frequency of the trips by her paying off your debt. No, thank you.
Yeah, it doesn't match up. What she's saying is, I'd rather pay $35,000 in debt than $1,600 to go to Canada. That doesn't make sense mathematically or logically.
Fair enough. Okay. So that I can also go there back and forth and just be a little more fair about it instead of.
Well, you don't really have the money to do that. I think if you set up the conversation and say, okay, we both agree that it's important for this debt to be gone. However, how we do it is where we differ. I think it's my responsibility to pay off my debt. We're not married. I don't want to put you in that situation. So what I need from you is to support me in the best way possible, which your support for me would be if you could come visit me while I'm busy paying off this debt and putting my income towards that. That would be the best way to support me during this time.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That's that's what I was originally thinking, and I just didn't know if I should.
Yeah, you're going to change the tune of the relationship. You're going to change the whole thing if she pays you off your debt.
Yeah,
you know the old joke. You know the old joke. If you loan your brother-in-law $100 and he never speaks to you again, is it worth the money?
Right.
Yeah. Because what happens when you loan people money is it changes the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You're now she's looking at you as like, and you're going, I feel like didn't own it. It's all this other stuff now enters into the equation rather than I'm a dude over here doing my thing, girl over there doing her thing.
Yep.
We'd be talking. That's way different than you got into my wallet.
You already have distance working against you. You definitely don't need borrowed money working against you.
Yeah, or just any kind of feigned obligation. I mean, what happens if she pays that off and then this relationship goes sideways? Oh, now what are we going to do?
Ooh.
Then she calls us on the air and goes, I was so dumb. I paid off this guy's debt over in Canada. And we're like, yeah, you were.
Yeah.
That'll be the call right here.
That is. Like, I know that we're talking to Garreg, but I'm like, I want to talk to the girlfriend because I need to make her understand this is a bad move to even offer.
Yeah. So, folks, do not pay debts for people you're not married to. Do not buy houses and cars for or with people you're not married to. Crap happens, and you're going to get sideways, and you're going to have a problem. The worst one I can ever remember was a guy bought a house with his girlfriend. They're going to shack up, and he gets killed in a car wreck, and now she owns the house. There's no will. She now owns the house with her future mother-in-law.
Oh, Lord.
She's now a partner.
Oh, my gosh.
Because she's not his heir. They're not married.
Yeah, that's right.
So his half of that house goes to his mother.
Oh, my gosh.
Who she didn't like, of course.
Of course.
And now this is great. Now I have a partnership.
Ugh.
This is the crap you don't think of when you think, oh, we're just going to play house and really be, instead of really being like grown-ups and get married.
Yeah.
Yeah, it changes the whole deal, man. So,
I remember a guy called in. Yeah, he had a girlfriend. He co-signed on the car
Oh,
with
yeah.
her, 17, 18,000.
And
They
she-
broke up.
and she got the car.
Well, she stopped paying it. And he called in. He said, hey, I've got a mountain of debt. She's not paying the loan. How do I get out of it? I said, is she going to refinance it over and put it in her name? He said, no. I said, well, you better add it to your debt snowball then.
You better get rid of that car.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
She wouldn't sell it? Ooh.
Yep, that's the problem. So that's the kind of stuff we run into these days. And it's the unintended consequences, not thinking things all the way through. There's an old book out 100 years ago by Dr. Stephen Covey called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Yeah.
And one of the habits is begin with the end in mind.
Smart.
Yeah. So begin with everything possibly falling apart that could fall apart in mind, and you'll go, oh, I would never do that.
Well, yeah, that's opposite of what you want to do, because when you're excited about something, you like to visualize all the ways that it works out and, the
There's
best.
only one way it works, and if it's all works.
Yeah, that's
and it
right.
never works that way.
That's right.
Nothing ever works the way it's supposed to, ever. Exactly. The timeline, something changes, and then there you are,
Right.
caught.
But that's not being a Debbie Downer, and it's
No.
not being a pessimistic. That's just being logical.
We're not dream killers. We're nightmare killers. Because your little dream's going to be a nightmare, and we're going to kill it before we can let it grow. Kill it now. Stomp that thing. Yeah. Nip it in the bud.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
So
right.
I'm happy to kill your nightmare. You just don't see it as a nightmare. You see it as a dream. But I'll help you with that. And so, because we love you and we want you to win, we want you to prosper. We're thinking about the good version of you 10 years from now that has survived all of life's bumps and bruises and prospered anyway. And that's how successful people actually do it. They fail forward.
That's right.
They
That's
don't
right.
make a set of assumptions that things are always going to work out the way they are. So there's about 90 ways this could go wrong and only one way it goes right.
Yeah.
So we don't do it.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say most success is a result of something that was learned, not a bright idea that was executed the right way the first time.
Yeah. I mean, the number of times we've launched a product at Ramsey that the prototype ever sees the light of day is precisely zero. What we think is going to work doesn't make it through beta.
Right.
It doesn't make it through alpha. It doesn't make it through any of those Greek letters. Why Refi refinances delinquent private student loans for struggling borrowers. Learn more at yrefy.com/Ramsey.